the socks off Facebook. Hello, hello. Yes, look, we're live on here as well. So if you're watching us on Facebook, we're going to go. Oh, the eyeball's gone. 0 viewers. Okay, that's good. Okay, right, we're on. We are actually on here, look. We're live here. We've got one person watching. Who are you?
Yeah,
name yourself. And the channel that you're watching us from as well. Can you name that too?
We need to get a bigger window.
I don't understand.
Because we're only in half of it, you see.
Yeah. That one there. It's Abigail.
Ah, Abigail, thank
on
you.
YouTube.
Oh, thank you. That's good. We've had such a confusing time, and as I was saying, it's not my fault. I actually.
It is your fault. It doesn't matter.
I know, but I work. You know, I drove at 90 miles an hour all the way up the.
Don't tell everyone. There could be the police watching.
Okay, you didn't hear that.
She just can't see very well. Oh,
No.
I shouldn't say that either.
Yeah, I tried so hard for this to be a smooth live stream today, and drove all the way from Glastonbury via Bristol up to London so that we started on time. And then my brakes failed, and then I had to go to a garage and have my brakes fixed, and then I got on the road again, and then I drove like a cat out of hell to get here. And then the live stream stopped working. It's like, what the hell's going on? So,
but look, it's really nice because the comments are coming up on the screen that people are watching as well.
Oh,
that's lovely, isn't it? Right, what are the messages?
Zoe says, let's see what Zoe says.
I bet I have.
Oh, Jack has sent us some blessings. I like that. That's lovely. Thank you, Jack. And Zoe's saying, I bet I've got all these technical problems when I get started on my own YouTube. Well, if you don't, Zoe, we're going to fall out because we'll be jealous. Yeah, we're here to help you if you have any.
We're here to help you get it wrong every time.
Every single time it goes wrong. It's like, why does it keep going wrong? It's like, we've got a cartoon background to this video. Look at it.
Yeah, what's all that about? What? It's great.
Anyway.
Honest, it is. It's honest. It's great.
Yeah,
it'll be in those graphics over there, but I'm not touching anything.
Don't touch anything.
I'm not touching anything. Oh, look, I'm touching my mouth.
Why? How come all those guys and things that do these videos, they have it all slick with studio cameras?
Because they didn't invite us. That's why.
But look, so
we've got anything serious to talk about today.
I did. My head was absolutely full of serious stuff. It's like I've been prepping all week for the serious things, and it's like I've been going through a mega. I mean, now I'm all kind of adrenalized, so it's really hard. But I have been really depressed this week.
Oh.
I got so depressed I could barely speak to anyone. It was like, and don't worry, anybody who's listening and is worried that I'm depressed, it's fine. It's normal. It's
normal, isn't it? I think this is the thing. It's normalize normality. Let's normalize it, because it's not. Telly is not a good depiction of what your life should look like. It just isn't. It's normal to be depressed. It's normal to go down. It's normal to go up.
Yeah, I mean, we're living in hellish times.
It's normal for the cats to piss all over the couch, apparently. That's what's been happening in my week.
Oh,
yesterday, one of the poor pussycats, I heard slam against the back door. And a black cat had chased one of the cats, and the cat had run. My cat had run into the door, really hurt herself.
Oh my God.
Well, last night I decided to open these bloody French doors. Well, that's it. The cat's world ended at that point. I thought the cat was going to die. She run around like she'd lost her head. She's pissed all over the couch. Because a wall had disappeared from her home. Because I opened the French doors that never get opened.
Oh my God.
And there's a cat out there that attacks her. She'd slammed into one door, and suddenly the walls disappeared because I've opened the door. So she was totally exposed, totally unprotected. There's an animal out there that wants to eat her. I was laughing. I'm having to pick her up, and she's pissing, and I'm picking her up and trying to carry her outside.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was awful. And I spent the next hour trying to just to reconnect with her.
Calm down.
Yeah, I fed her nearly a whole bloody tin of pilchards. It's all right, cat. Oh, it was terrible. I really did think she's going to have a stroke or something's going to happen to the poor
You felt really
cat.
bad about her, really.
Because it was me opening the door. I mean, I felt like a hero when the other cat showed up, but oh my God, this whole anxiety thing that she's got going on. It's just like, I've just wrecked her house. I've just wrecked her reality of safety. She hasn't got any at the moment. I took the walls away.
Well, I think that's you know, that's the issue. None of us have got a reality of safety at the moment. And at the same time, even when you say that word safe, be safe, everybody's saying be safe.
Toxic, isn't it?
And then I want to vomit, because if one more person says that, and they sign it off in letters, be safe. And it's like, it's the concept of safety has been hijacked into this whole political propaganda. Well,
it started with health and safety, didn't it?
Mm.
You know, you can't have a skipping rope at school. Like, why? Why? It's the best thing for hitting boys that keep chasing the girls and you don't want them to, isn't it? Was that you, Jack?
No, Jack wouldn't do anything.
I bet you really love chasing the girls.
What's this Abigail saying? Can you read it?
Yeah, I think that we've been, you know, look, we do this. I don't know. I think we have been the same here, in total fed up with everything.
Yeah, totally fed up with everything. And yet when I look out, it seems like everything's going on is normal. Everybody seems to be happy. And that's like, I had a very difficult week trying to address these issues of relationship and people that you love being injected. No, I don't love them being injected. People that I love having been injected. And I don't know whether to look at you or whether to look at the screen, but
look at you.
It's so totally distressing. And it's like they say, these people in my life say, well, we just want to be normal, or can't you just be positive? Because on their side, haven't been injected, and they believe that being injected is the right thing. And it's just like, well, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you just, like, you know, I've made the choice and I'm fine. And, you know, but it's like, this is somebody that I've given life to. And it's so distressing what the outcome of this choice might be. And I can't, even though I try to be positive, it's like I'm having nightmares about it.
So what is it you're focusing on? Because if you, so I'm just trying to, and I'm just doing a devil's advocate. It's my favourite cat.
Yeah. No,
if you allow, no, it's not about making you feel, it's just about changing the focus, isn't it? What is the focus on? The focus, if the focus is on free will, what happens?
Well, I think we're kind of in stretchy time. It's going all over the place. It's like, where are we positioning ourselves? This is the whole thing, 3D, 5D realities and all that kind of stuff.
But what we focus our mind upon, so at the moment, your mind keeps getting pulled to this focus of potential future disaster and catastrophe because of, we have to stop saying that word, we'll just go like that. You know what we mean? Because of that.
Oh yeah, and remember, I've been banned for a whole month from Facebook
so stop saying that
don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
Because
ever.
Don't say anything, because I haven't been able to do any marketing for Healing Waters for a whole month because I've been completely banned, and like my business is going down the drain. Because I can't, but
no, your business potentially could, but it's not going to.
It's not going to, because millions of people are now going to flood to Healing Waters because I don't adhere to.
You can come without anything here, anything
nothing
here.
We don't want to do anything.
None of that stuff.
We just want you to.
It's like sign language, the new sign language.
We just want you to be real and enjoy, and to enjoy the peace and safety. And if you are depressed, as I can
come and be depressed with us.
Come and be depressed with us. Or if you are anxious, come and be anxious. You know, I just want to be real. I don't want to be normal. I want to be real.
Yeah, we've got our first volunteer. Abigail's turning into a grumpy old woman. Go join the club. I feel like telling everyone who says stay safe to shove it. Well, that's polite. That's all I can say, Abigail. That's a polite way of saying it. I found a really cool video. You know the guy, the Bristol tattoo artist?
Oh yeah, the one that was being harassed.
Yeah. So did you see him yesterday?
No.
Oh, I'm going to share the link underneath. He did a rant to camera. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it was basically saying, you've had it because you want to go on holiday, and now you can't fucking go on holiday, you stupid bastard. And they think they can come for our... And he just ranted and ranted. And it is on point. It's brilliant. Because what he's done, he's really simply highlighted this whole fucking let's just keep the peace attitude. And it's the let's just keep the peace attitude that gets everybody killed.
Yeah.
In times of war. That's what happens, isn't it?
That's what we were talking about last week, And what was really shocking to me was these particular family members. It's like when I tried to push a little bit more, they're saying like, but we can't function if we have to look at these things that you're showing us. I don't want to look because it makes me get really distressed, and I've made my decision, and everything's going to be all right. I'm just staying with that decision. And then I'm really distressed because I realize the only reason that I can't address the issue is because it makes them more distressed. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like... So
again, it's like, what do you then focus upon to support yourself?
But then I go and listen to the amazing documentary, the film with Dr. Gabor Mate. Did you see it this week?
No, I've heard about it from a lot of people, actually.
And they put out a whole series of talks, and there's a brilliant talk with Gabor Mate and Thomas Hugel this week.
Oh, your favourites.
My faves, my all-time faves, my heroes, almost. And so what I was focusing on was listening to Thomas Hugel about relationship. It's like, how do we cope? How do we cope with the collective trauma pattern when, you know, we've got massive unresolved collective trauma from the Holocaust, from generations and generations.
And it's not unresolved, it's growing.
It's growing.
It's actively growing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's actively growing because we've been progressively more traumatized. So he's like, this is really serious. How do we stop this growing? How do we heal our collective trauma? And it's like we can't pay attention to it because it's too traumatic. And that when we try to pay attention, we either dissociate and we totally disconnect, which is like
just revisiting all the old stuff.
Yeah, describing, you know, what's happened to those people that I'm trying to talk to about these things. They just want to dissociate, or they go into hyper alert, active alert, you know, like very anxious or angry or whatever. But neither of those two poles is actually addressing the collective trauma, because the only way we can address it is by really relating to ourselves and really relating to others, because one of the primary symptoms of collective trauma is fragmentation.
Ah, lovely. Do you know what? This is what you're talking about. It's what you taught me in the first time we ever met, which was the window of tolerance. You're doing it this way now, but it's this way, isn't it? It's that same window of tolerance. So trauma will shoot you out the top with adrenaline or drop you down the bottom with freeze. And in order to resolve the trauma, you need to be in the middle, in a place that's balanced and accessible. And even Einstein said it, didn't he? You can't resolve a problem using the same level of thinking that the problem was created within. So you can't solve trauma while you're anywhere near the frames of that window or outside.
No.
You need to be back in the center of that window of tolerance to even be ready to look at resolving the trauma.
Because the whole trauma is like how a friend of mine said, it's like every family around the world has had a bomb dropped in their home, because all our families have been really fragmented at this moment in time. And it's very difficult to do that relating. Thomas Hugel talks about perception, and like when you relate to somebody, it's like really feeling somebody. It's like, I know you're sitting there, and how I know you're there is because I feel you inside me, and that's the relating. And that it's only when we're in that feeling state that's a healing state. Otherwise we're just disconnected.
And is that because of the whole idea of the social healing is on the external part of the brain? So in order for anything on the inside to be working, that outside bit needs to be addressed as well. Yeah, nice. So what else did you get from our two favourite blokes?
Well, it's just like
you get like a little girly crush, and you're like, oh, the boys.
Well, it's like it's so they're very different, aren't they? Thomas Hugel, but they really they are really interested in each other. I didn't know
Mhm.
how to express that. They really inspire each other and listen very deeply and bounce backwards and forwards. So I really needed to listen to that about 3, 4 or 5 times. And because Thomas especially, it takes a long time for it to land. What does he actually mean? He speaks in very deep metaphors. I know what he was talking about as well, was how we reinforce the collective trauma by creating societal agreements around the trauma. So for instance, he was using this as an example. It's like if you say I'm really tense, I have tension, then you're immediately separating yourself from the problem. It's like the tension is something outside of yourself, and you're not owning what's going on. But if you say, I witness myself tightening up because from the fear, from the pain and the fear, I am tightening up. Now you're in control. Now you have ownership of the problem, and you have the power to actually do something.
Very much so.
Where are you going?
To switch the phone off.
Oh, right, you're not going to leave me with all these people on my own. So it's like, leave me with my collective trauma. So Abigail, here in Scotland, they are telling us if you have had the double jab, you still need to test yourself twice a week. But it's absolutely insane, isn't it, Abigail? We all know it's insane because there's no coherence at all, that nothing makes sense with any of these things that they're telling us to do. And that's...
Yeah, I mean, that twice having had the thing, and you still are infectious, you potentially can still be infected, you still need to wear the gag. Why would you do that if you've still got to do that? But the people, and I know the reason why. I know why they do it. It's repetitive information coming out of the screen, coming out of the speakers. Repetitive information. Keep repeating it. It does not have to make sense. It doesn't have to key into the left side of the brain. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't even have to be like language that makes any sense. But if you say it often enough, the program sits in the being, and the program is running the show then.
Absolutely.
Repetitive, I don't know what
yeah,
they call it.
repeat.
Yeah. And again, isn't that because outside of that window of tolerance, we are on automatic something or other?
Yeah, absolutely. That's and we get hypnotized. So anyway, that was the uplifting part of my week, listening to Thomas. And
he makes you smile. Did you see she goes all girly when Thomas, oh Thomas. You love him. You bet you couldn't stop smiling because you went to an event with him last year, didn't you?
I did a 10-day retreat with him.
You smiled for 10 days.
Well, that's where I got ill. That's where I got I did get the dreaded whatever with
You got really ill.
I was really ill.
And do you think that was the beginning of this whole shenanigans? People.
Yeah, I think so. I was in Jerusalem, so.
And was it something around the upper respiratory?
Absolutely, I couldn't stop coughing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I had right at the beginning of it all, I had this choking thing where I know physiologically what was going on. My epiglottis just went, "You better shut because you're going to choke on something," and then I'm going,
"Oh my God!"
But because I kind of knew what was happening physiologically in my brain, I could just go, "Oh, you'll be all right in a minute. You'll be." And my body's going, "Oh, fucking hell, I'm going to die, and my brain's going, be all right in a minute. You'll be all right. And I'm wandering around the flat one day. I remember thinking, I am going to die. No, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just relax.
Well, and you are. It was right.
Well, my body was totally stuck. And it was interesting because I'd had the same response. I'd been in Mexico a few months before, and I was with a Brazilian shaman, and he's a rapé guy. Rapé is snuff,
right.
Tobacco stuff. And they blow it up your nose, and he'd done that, and I'd forgot you're supposed to bring your epiglottis up to block it, but I'd forgotten it. It had gone straight down my windpipe. My lungs had just gone, shut the doors, and I'd gone into this. So because I'd had that experience with Rogero, who's this shaman guy in Brazil, in Mexico, when I had this cough, I was like, this is what Rapé was showing me, what my body was going to go through and it was just this really weird, 3D, 5D, how many Ds can you possibly be?
Yeah.
Experience of, I know this is exactly what happened when I was with Rogero, and afterwards when we spoke about it, and I knew the physiology. So this was where the bit of my brain was going, you'll be all right, you'll be all right, you'll be all right. My body's going, I can't breathe. Yeah, so I think, and there's like our friend Jill, Dr. Jill Barham, she and her husband, just before Christmas 2019, they were in bed for a week. Like the pair of them, nothing, not enjoying themselves, but they were like dying in bed for a week, and neither of them ever really get very ill. So there's lots of weird symptoms that appeared in the few months before the so-called shenanigans began.
Well, yeah, it was something
But
released.
something was going on, wasn't it?
It does look like something was released, and a lot of the research is pointing to that now, isn't it? And
oh, you're even allowed to say it on Facebook now, aren't you?
Can you say it on Facebook?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, but we won't say any of those naughty words. No. But it seems like something was released, and now Dr. What's his name?
Him.
Forsyth.
Foreskin.
Has now had his emails revealed.
Yeah. And he was saying exactly the same thing while he was lying through his teeth to the television cameras. But he's such a barefaced liar, isn't he?
But then it's so confusing, because is that really him? Because now there's questions about
cloning and body doubles.
I mean, it's just insane, isn't it? What insane times we're living in.
It is. It's like watching Monty Python on acid, and you're like, shit, no, actually, this is life. This is my life now.
You can understand all those that do get the why they just want to be normal. If they were going through what we're going through, it's like...
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of, it does, some parts of us do need to recognise, because I mean, I'm always working in parts at the moment, because it's just so apparent that's how we operate as people, as human beings. But there's some parts of us that just need to be told, oh, there, everything's going to be all right.
Yeah.
There, everything's going to be all right. That's all they need for the rest of your life.
But we do need that as humans. We need to be reassured. We need to be loved. We need to be connected.
And then you find out everyone's a body double. Everything you've ever heard in your history class was a lie. Every politician is barefaced lie. How is that there, everything's going to be all right when you've got all that shenanigans going on? It's like, Brent melts my brain.
Yeah.
Right, who are we?
But who's this?
Abigail. We love Abigail. She's really playing today. Thanks, Abigail. Hubby is disabled. We were in somewhere with no muzzle on, and he said, I dare anyone to say anything to me.
How was he disabled? In what way was he disabled? Oh, because...
He's got a disability of some kind.
Oh, I see.
What's his disability? We've all got them, haven't we? Just some are more obvious than others. That's what they say on the tube. Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to say it to me, because I've never worn one.
No, me neither, not at all.
I'm really looking forward to the day someone questions me, and it's never happened.
You should say, go on, ask me.
Yeah,
why.
go on, look. Have I got spinach in my teeth?
Yeah.
This man hasn't a clue what he's talking about. He's an idiot. He's talking about foreskin. Yeah, couldn't agree more. So,
who's going to go on the satanic ritual abuse rally?
So it's on Saturday, isn't it?
It's on the 26th, yeah.
Which is, it says 23 today, isn't it? 24, yes, Saturday. Yeah, I'm going down with Chris.
Okay.
Me and Chris are going down. But they're everywhere. It's not just the London one. There are pockets.
But they're in Australia. There's about 6 different ones in Australia and New Zealand and...
Is there anything near Glastonbury?
No.
You sure? I bet you there's one in Bristol.
No, but I'm in London anyway. So
you stay until Saturday?
I'm going to be here. So I might go with
Yeah, come. Who's coming? You going to come and join us?
Yeah, come and join us. Here in Scotland. Oh, I know.
We've read that one.
On. Okay. So do you know that this is happening? This woman is so... I was talking about her last week. What's her name? I've forgotten.
Are we allowed to say it?
O'Kell, something. She's got a very unusual name. Last week, you know what happens to me as I get all this information in my head and then I freeze when I sit here in front of this camera, then all that stuff that I was going to talk about just goes into a freeze. But I was talking about her last week. Kathy O'Brien, but not Kathy O'Brien, the woman that's in London that's doing all the standing up for children?
I can't. I didn't know
You
the
didn't
name.
know.
There.
You didn't know
I
it
still
last
don't
week.
know
You
it.
still don't know.
Well, I'm still trying to remember a name. I don't
Anyway,
know.
is it Parliament Square? Is that where they?
Yeah. There's one at Parliament. I mean, they don't. I think there's one outside Parliament. There's others. There's a lot. There's a couple of others as well, because what they try to do is have a variety for, I don't know, dispersing the military arm.
Yeah. So look out for them and join
Telegram.
them.
There's a lot of Telegram groups, and I think Mark Atwood has been interviewing quite a few survivors recently.
Well, it's absolutely, now that the light's been put on the subject matter, you can begin to see that's actually millions and
everywhere.
millions.
It's everywhere, absolutely. And it's interesting because like I've got a cousin here in London. I don't even know if she's still alive because we've been out of touch for years. It was before the internet came the last time I saw her, and she worked when I first moved to London. She was probably Claire something.
Claire O'Hockey O'Cal.
Claire Hockey O'Cal.
Something like that.
Cool. Very good. Someone will tell us on the internet.
Yeah, tell us, please. We're relying on you.
See my name. What's she saying? Crack you up. Good, yeah, I like my sense of humour as well. Do you know what I love, Zoe? When I see a video that I'm on, and I haven't seen it for a while, or it was a while ago, and I watch it and I just think, oh, God, I'm really mad, aren't I? I really enjoy watching myself. I think that's called narcissism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plan to marry and narcissism. Be the biggest plonker you can online, and then you'll enjoy watching yourself in 3 years' time. What can I say? Anyway, back to Abigail and her rather serious complaint. No, it's not, is it? Husband has neurological known as MND.
Don't know what that is.
MND, muscular
neuron
dystrophy.
Dementia.
Dystrophy. Or something. Tell us more, Abigail. The reason we're interested in this,
we're not making fun. That sounds like we're not irreverent.
We're making light of it, not fun of it. The reason we're interested is because of the trauma work that we do, that Juliet is my teacher for the trauma work that I'm now doing. We can perceive what the symptom and the disease name is actually portraying when it comes to what's needed by the being that's created this symptom. So there's something that the being needs that isn't getting. The mind doesn't know. Our minds are, because they're programmed from the telly. But when the being isn't receiving, this body being isn't receiving.
Well, it's an expression. A disease is an expression of your process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So knowing a little bit more about his MND, we could potentially shine a little light and understand a little bit more, even though we've never met him.
And even though we're not healers, so we're not putting ourselves up in being able to heal anyone, but we might be able to.
I heal me.
Yes, but did you see we had a troll that said, "What do you heal? Who are you? What do you heal?"
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh,
so
wow.
We'll have to make it clear we're not healers.
I should just tell him to bring his boots and I'll have a go with a few screws. What can I say? I'll put some heels on your boots if you like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting looking at the way disease is. It's used as a great money-making machine for the corporatocracy or whatever it's called. But actually, it's a really powerful communication sample of our communication, isn't it? Symptoms. Yeah, that's the big thing with Gabor Mate. When the body says no, the book he's written. It's that's amazing. Have you heard of that book, Abigail? Gabor Mate, when the body says no. He's done some good YouTube videos as well talking about that. So look him up, Gabor Mate, on YouTube. I've had a few life-changing conversations with people after they've seen that book. Yeah, and addiction as well. Like he talks very clearly about both physical illness and addiction being the result of trauma. Yeah, makes total sense. It does. It does. There's a reason for it. I mean, I do. It's called meta medicine. It's called German New Medicine. It's been rebranded a few times. But it basically, what we say is the symptoms are the language of the body, and a symptom is the resulting adaptation because something isn't being done in a holistic way that's needed by me. Because that thing isn't being done, and I'm perceiving the world through
Yeah,
whatever
the
thing
body,
I adapt.
the body always wants to heal itself. It's always working towards healing.
Mm.
So it's finding an avenue, whatever will work for it, in order to carry on living in some shape or form, to be able to cope with the difficulty of the circumstances, the lack of love, the lack of authenticity, whatever it is that you're having to deal with. And the body needs to find a way somehow.
And I think on the 5D or beyond levels, isn't that what shows up in our lives? Aren't that what the coincidences and the synchronicities are all about?
Yeah.
You know, the worst people in your life are actually the biggest gift, because they're showing you what you actually need to see more of in order to heal it in yourself.
That's right. Sounds really difficult, Abigail. You're sharing, sharing what happens for your, is it your husband? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to sound disrespectful.
Yeah, no, I think Abigail's all right. My sense is you get it, don't you, Abigail? You can make light of it as well. You have to.
Yeah, it is very, very hard to deal with that degree of suffering, isn't it? It's very difficult for him and very difficult for you. What comes up, you know, how you navigate the complexity of having to cope with that intensity of illness.
It was hard enough having it happen to me, with this knowing in my mind, oh God, you can't breathe, but you'll be all right. It's just your epiglottis has decided to close, it's fine. But when you're watching somebody else do it, and especially if that other person is in distress, that is, it throws you into a terrible state, doesn't it? So yeah, big respect to you, Abigail, for having this situation in your life.
Should we share that?
Yeah. I think people can see, look, because we've got the thing down here.
Oh, right.
I'm wondering if, because I pressed, I think I'd pressed that one, but I'm pointing at the screen, by the way, because they don't know what we're doing. Look. I'll do that, they can see what I'm pointing. We've got this selection of possibilities.
Yeah.
We have to laugh. Yeah. I know. I knew you got it, because you were still with us and you were still messaging us in a very beautiful way.
What happens if we do that then?
I don't know. You might mess it up.
Oh, don't touch it. It's not changed anyway. It's not changed.
It's not changed for us.
Yeah. So pilots, heart attacks.
Oh. And it has to be BA. My flight's booked on BA.
Oh no.
I know.
Well, they say
what a disaster, darling.
80% of the pilots have been.
And
four of them have died.
4 in a week it was, wasn't it? Or something ridiculous. And all young, healthy men.
Yeah.
Not even the old cronies like us. Or far younger than we are.
And then I heard Canadian Airlines as well. Somebody had the same problem.
Really? It's just,
They're going to be dropping like flies. I mean, literally, the planes are going to be dropping like flies.
The planes will land like a piece of old wax paper, won't they? It's just awful. It's just going to... I'll be driving the plane myself. I'm getting on it. I don't care. I'm making my timeline. Middle of September, everything's going to be fine. I'll get to Mexico.
You're escaping to Mexico.
I am. Yeah, I'm going to Mexico. Oh, the best thing. I love this. My return ticket date is 2202-2022. 22nd of February 2022.
But that's after my birthday. Why aren't you coming before?
Because it's a magic number. You'll have to come to Mexico for your birthday.
Yeah.
I used to live over there, so I'm just really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yes.
So how's everybody doing? What's happening to you? People here, like you, we've talked and talked and talked. What's happening to you? Let's have a little bit of.
Well, Abigail, what do you do, sweetheart? How do you? So you have a laugh, obviously, with hubby, because that must be awful for you when you're not laughing. He's dying, and then you're laughing, and oh my God. But what do you do to support Abigail? What does Abigail do to support Abigail? Because I reckon you're doing a lot of support for your husband. And if he's in a weird space and he's not very well, what are you doing to help yourself? Because you'll be getting tied up trying to support him all of the time. So you can't fill a glass from an empty jug. What are you doing to fill up your jug?
Well, I'm glad your son's not going.
My son, who is 23, has had the letter to attend, and no, he ain't going. Good for him.
Yeah, well done. I bet that cheers you up, doesn't it, Abigail?
Yeah, it's heartwarming, isn't it? One of my friends, I was on the phone today, on a Zoom, and she said she's got a couple of children and a couple of grandchildren, and she said I didn't even want to ask them. I didn't even want to ask them. She said because she said I'm not like you, but I don't want it. What do you mean you're not like me? She said, well, I don't go out screaming it at the street corners. I said, what do you imagine I actually fucking do every day? Anyway, she's not like me, but she was so chuffed because apparently everyone in their family is saying, not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. So they're all, even though she didn't appreciate it, they're all on the same page. But just much, she was so relieved.
Oh, thank God for that.
She was so relieved. Look, that was Sue from Mexico just tried to call me.
Tell her to watch the video.
I know, yeah.
Why isn't she watching us?
It's on my calendar and everything. Look, you're all over me. All over me like a rash. No, I'm not paying attention to it. I'm on a live call.
You're on a live call, yeah. So that's very different, isn't it? But there are people that feel like myself who are very isolated because it's like you have that bomb dropped in your family and then go on that side and you're kind of on this like fragment of
outer space somewhere.
Yeah. 5D reality or unreality.
So yeah, look, Abigail's got some good advice for you. What she does is gardening.
I do loads of gardening. Oh, you do gardening?
Yeah,
fantastic.
Abigail does gardening, reading, and following the goddess path. Love it. And slightly nuts, just slightly. What are you doing on here then? You need to be completely nuts, darling. Following the goddess path. What do you mean? What do you do? How do you play that game? I want to know some of the rules of the goddess path game. What sort of things do you do? I love there's some really lovely goddess stuff in the yoga traditions that I work in, and we've got that lovely Tara. We should have brought Tara in with us, shouldn't we? Yeah, the goddess. My perspective or my view of goddess stuff is quite new actually, because I think I used to think it was either all a little bit too I am, darling. She's completely nuts. That's all that means. I know what that means. I used to think that the goddess stuff was all a bit posh, actually. It felt a bit posh. Has it ever felt like posh to you, that goddess stuff? What the posh girls did. And I never see myself as a posh girl. Obviously I am, but I never saw myself as a posh girl. And then the other side of it was a bit like feminist, but in a non-lesbian kind of way. How judgmental is my mind? So yeah, the goddess stuff is, and then when I was in India and I was learning about the all the different aspects of God,
deities, yeah,
it was just beautiful. So like Gayatri mantra and learning, like we did a whole day on Gayatri and the 24 faces of Gayatri and all this gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. And basically it's an hour, 24 hours, 24 faces. And there's all these synchronicities and I'm going, well, that just means that.
I don't think
that's
she's pagan.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't think the Indian goddesses are the same as the goddess tradition in Glastonbury. When you talk about the goddess tradition, I'm thinking about the whole thing that happens in Glastonbury that was started by
pagan,
Kathy Jones.
And then what's that one? Mother Earth. And you're not posh. Good for you.
No, I'm not posh. I'm kind of Mother
I don't
Earth.
think you could watch us if you were posh, could you?
No, your language, Marion, is like...
It's fucking terrible.
I don't know. It makes my ears burn.
Until you join in. Are you just joining in so your ears stop burning?
Yeah.
I'm going to go and shut the back door because it's getting a bit chilly.
Watch out for the cat.
No.
Don't freak the cat out again.
Are you? Because I'm just noticing you curling yourself up in the board.
Yeah, I'm a bit chipped, but I do have my cardigan here, yeah. So Marion, here she is in the heart of London. She's got a beautiful little garden outside with lovely wooden tables and lanterns and tropical plants. It's like, how posh is that? How can you say you're not posh?
So posh, darling. It's absolutely super posh. I remember the first time one of the first times I went back to Birkenhead, and I'd only been away about a year, and I was in a house, and these girls were saying to me, well, where are you from? And I was like, I'm from here. No, you're not. I was like, I am. No, but where were you born? I was born in Birkenhead. I was born here. 'Cause you're so posh. You're too posh to have been brought up round here.
Yeah.
I'd only been away for a year.
Yeah, well, I had a little bit of education. I remember because I did manage to do my CSEs at school, and then my dad said, because I got pregnant and he was really mad with me, and he said I had to go and get a job, and I tried to get a job in the factory, and then they wouldn't employ me because I had CSEs, and then I went home and told him, and then he started smacking me around a bit.
Oh my God, because you had CSEs, you couldn't get a job in the factory.
Yeah, and
it's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that your dad slaps you is shocking as well, but that was normal, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's Abigail saying? Love the goddess tradition in Glaston. Stop doing that.
Stop doing what? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Stop it. Love the goddess tradition, because that's bigger, you see, so I can read it easier. Oh, look, I'm doing it myself now. Love the goddess tradition in Glastonbury, saving up to hopefully get there. Come and stay with Juliet while you do your goddess stuff in Glastonbury, because that's where Juliet lives, on this sacred land, and it's got a lovely well. Tell us about your well.
Yeah, it's got a spring. It's one of the 9 ancient springs of Avalon, and yeah, it's on the ley line. It's on the Michael line. So this last week, with the whole shenanigans that was happening down at St Michael's Mount, it's like we were sending some light energy down the ley line, and yeah, it's a really beautiful. I've planted trees around it, a vortex of trees, and it's very, very peaceful inside.
It's lovely, and it's got lovely rose bushes, hasn't it? Because we go and get the rose hips.
We pick all the rose hips to make rose hip tea. Yeah.
And then there's also 3 circular growing garden patches.
Yeah.
Well, they're not patches, they're like football pitches.
So Jack came to visit, didn't you? So we've got 3 big growing beds, and we've just got the polytunnel up.
Yeah, is it all up now?
It's all up, and
you've got seedlings.
Oh no, we've got tomatoes, and they're like growing inches by the day, and cucumbers, and yeah, it's amazing. It's really beautiful. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to be able to come in a couple of weeks because Terence is coming back to his flat.
Yeah.
So I'll have.
Or you can sleep in the polytunnel if my.
If your house is full, because your house will be full. Abigail saying, I will. Good. When are you going to come in a couple of weeks? Because I'll be there as well.
Yeah. So Healing Water Sanctuary in Glastonbury. You don't have to have one of these. You don't have to have one of those. You don't have to do that. There's no T&T, only tea, just nice tea. And so we look forward to guests that want to have a stress-free stay. So do come and stay.
So Jack says he's looking for balance between God and goddess energies. Yeah. I don't know who isn't. It's very difficult, isn't it? Because the whole inversion has really affected that, and the programming is completely against our innate being. And so the innate wisdom of goddess or God or masculine or feminine, it's just been so twisted to look like it's bad and it's wrong. You know, to be a woman out of work is a problem. Well, you know, even though you've got 6 kids to bring up, how is it not okay to be out of work? You're not out of work, you're a mother.
Yeah. So why would you?
And then the soy boys. Have you heard about the soy boys? I love this. If anyone's vegan, you need to switch off now. So soy boys are born in a male body and totally screwed up gender orientation wise, and it's mainly a result of the soy, because soy is so heavy in phytoestrogens, and because the bread soy is particularly heavy in phytoestrogens. So all the soy milk everybody thinks is the best thing ever, and the soy ice cream and soy cheese and tofu and soy sauce and everything to do with soy is actually over estrogenizing.
Well, then there's all the plastic in the water and things as well, isn't there?
Does that impact our estrogen as well?
Yeah, but plastic is a phytoestrogen, not a a xenoestrogen.
Oh, okay.
So because it's in our food chain everywhere.
Yeah. And so you stick your soy tofu in soy sauce and soy butter and soy milk curry in the microwave in a plastic tub.
Yeah.
And you grow tits the next day. And then they call you a soy boy.
But there's a lot of disturbing things happening with all these gender changes and that they're
That's all part of the. It's not just the information, is it? It's the neoliberalism, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's not just information. It is chemical, and this is what I'm thinking with the god and the goddess. Like, how messed up? Yeah, how messed up is our god-goddess balance because of chemicals, attitudes, media, all the messaging. And like, you're not allowed to say he or she on certain.
That's insane. It's deliberately implemented, and it's made that this is cool. This is normal. This is the way to be socially acceptable. And it's just really evil. It's so distressing that they're teaching children that they can change their gender when they're 5 years old in schools.
Yeah. If they'd listened to me when I was 5, I'd be a nun. Because that's what I wanted to be when I was 5.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but then the other thing is the fetal tissue in the substances the aborted fetal tissue.
It's in something else as well.
Because that has got the DNA of the of a opposite.
Of the soy boys.
Well, of the opposite sex. So if you were getting aborted fetal tissue injected into you when you're a tiny child, what's that going to do to your gender identity?
It's just beyond, isn't it? We choose what we focus on. So we're focusing on Abigail saying, I will, and sending us hearts. That's what we're focusing on right now.
Okay.
So she loves seeing Juliet's garden on the YouTube. So we need more garden on YouTube.
Yeah, I do some more garden. I haven't been able to do any. I did do a little video of.
Stop going off the screen.
I did do a little. Did you see all the poppies? It was so beautiful last week. Absolutely stunning with all the poppies. I'll do some more. Cool. Yeah.
So Abigail loves seeing that. And then we've got Jack's got a new message here, and Jack says, Healing Waters is a really magical place. Loved my time there. Good.
Oh, good.
Look forward to seeing you there again. Yeah. And Abigail is saying, unfortunately, she doesn't have the money at the moment. We won't leave that one up for long because we don't want to focus on that. You need to talk to us, Abigail, about money. We know a thing or two about money at the moment.
Talk to us. We will support you.
Well, I have a need to go feed the family as I'm at knitting group tonight, and hopefully won't get banned for telling some truths. Good for you. You go and shove them needles where the sun don't shine. Abigail, talk to us. Talk to us about you need a break, my love, and we know how to help you. We had a competition.
Yeah.
Last week.
Oh yes. How many TVs were smashed? We didn't hear back.
Seen anyone? Not one of you.
That's really disappointing. We were offering £400 to smash a TV.
Did you do it?
Nobody did it.
Did you do it? So maybe on #replay. If you're watching this and it's a replay, if you've made it this far, you deserve a medal. Yes. So, our competition. I thought that was a really great idea.
Yeah,
nobody else wants to play.
I mean, who didn't want to earn £400?
Yeah, Abigail, get your old telly out. Then we can pay you 400 quid. You can come and pick it up in person. Because I don't know, maybe they thought we weren't being serious. Did you think we weren't being serious?
We are serious.
Let's see. I will. What does she say? I will love you, lovely wise women. Yes, see? Smash up that bloody telly and get your arse over here. Well, not over here, over to... Where are you? You're in Scotland, aren't you? I think I remember you seeing Scotland on the thing. Anyway, you need to go to your knitting class and attack. Get on the attack. I am going to post the video link underneath for the guy, the tattoo artist guy, because it is very...
I know what else.
Very good.
Very, very stunning was the ex-Met police officer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So did you see that he's filed an investigation into the police station for crimes against humanity to investigate what's going on?
Mm-hmm. And he did a really good break. It was like half an hour or something, wasn't it? Just reading out what is
all the documented, all the charges. Yeah, and he got a charge number for it, so they can't ignore it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's been quite a few. I noticed in the last few weeks there have been, I don't know if it's people who are in the police, but people who understand a bit more about the law and how to implement law. And they've been like a group of dads went into a police station.
And they didn't. I saw that, but they didn't get the charger number.
No.
They just
Well, the woman was just arguing with them.
She was just arguing, but because the other guy, what's his name?
Is it police inspector
Irvin or something?
I don't know. I'm not very good at names.
But because neither am I, so it doesn't matter. It's just that it might encourage you to go and look for this person. But he was very stunning because he was a metropolitan police officer, and he was also a whistleblower because he had done that video previously to all the other police about what was going on.
Yeah.
And that they were responsible to the public, that they've sworn an oath to the public.
Yeah.
Well,
if the police bother us, isn't the first thing that we need to say, are you acting under oath?
Yeah.
So you don't answer any questions, you don't tell them anything, and you ask them, first thing is, are you acting under oath? Because
the police take an oath to protect you, and they're not taking an oath to protect the government. And he reminded all the policemen that was the case, and that he felt like there was this global...
the C word.
No, the G word. Something side.
Oh, yeah.
There's a global one of... I mean, this is ridiculous, making it like... It sounds like we're laughing.
Starts with genetics and ends inside.
But, I mean, this is so ridiculous. Like, we can't speak truth because we get shut down. And it makes it sound like this isn't serious, but it's very serious. And he actually called out the police force saying that this is happening and that you're going to be tried for crimes against humanity yourselves unless you actually support the people you're meant to protect.
Yeah, it's really important, isn't it, to sort of see how this can be implemented, how it's...
Yeah, and now he's taken it a step further and he's actually gone and filed... do you call it a case or a charge? He's made a charge against...
It's officially something, a charge, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
File a charge or, I don't know, bring a charge.
For a murder investigation.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Well, yeah, because they're being...
There's 4 pilots for a start.
There's millions of people being murdered.
I know. So Jack's saying he hasn't got a TV to smash. Go next door and do this. Tell them it's for their own good. And then Debbie Baker. Hello, Debbie. Debbie saw the poppies, breathtaking, the first time I listened into you live. I usually listen to the replay the next day, and I've just tuned in, but we'll listen to it all tomorrow. Yeah, hashtag replay, Debbie. Tell us what you think, and get smashing your telly. Let's put Debbie's message up. That's a big one. That's a big message. I'm liking all the graphics, Juliet.
You actually like that?
It does look... Oh, it's a bit busy looking. It was weird last week because my face was massive on this side. This side here, it was like that. But when I saw it, my face was a normal size. It's all a bit strange.
It's all a bit jolly. We need some techie people to come and set up a studio.
Apparently me.
You are techie.
I know.
But you're too busy making all that money.
I'm far too busy making money.
Yeah.
Don't watch the telly anyway. Good. That's why we want you to smash it. Smash it and make a video of yourself smashing it. Give people who watch the telly something better to watch.
And maybe there should be a mass burning of TV licenses.
What was that thing on the telly when we were kids? Why don't you just turn off the television set and go and do something less boring instead, or more interesting instead, or something, wasn't it? Why don't you just smash up your television set and go and collect £400 and don't pass go and come to Glastonbury?
Yeah. Or maybe I'll add a free stay. So 200 from me, 200 from Marion, and a free stay at Healing Waters. If you the person that smashes up their telly, there was a bit more to this.
We'll have to watch it to get the rules.
But the rules were those people that got the most, they had to share it. They had to make
That's right, to get the views.
It's not just smashing up your telly.
You have to do it live.
Have to do it live.
And then leave it on replay to get the most views.
Yeah, and the person with the most views wins the prize.
There we are. We'll have to check that we said that.
Because there's a point in this. We want to put forward the idea. It's all about mind control. It's like, how can we get out of the mind control? And
it's about taking an action in a way that you attract attention. because attention and engagement is what the television's trapped people into. So if we can unravel some attention and attract attention off piste, if you like, off that track, then that will, I think, that will build our cause.
Yeah.
Because you have to build what you do want, and what you don't want will become obsolete.
Absolutely. And I mean, this comes back to Thomas Hubel again as well, isn't it? It's about not polarizing. It's about building a relationship. And that is really what you do in your work and what I do in my work. It's focalizing the whole time. It's like, what is the new reality? What is it that we can create as the old tumbles? What can we create that really supports people's lives in a way that's really connected, really loving and human and caring, rather than corporate and disconnected and
so resources, aren't they?
Yeah. So what are the gifts that you have? What are your unique gifts, and how can you use those gifts to actually support other people and create something really beautiful around yourself? And yeah, I'm feeling really happy with what's happening at Healing Waters with the gardens. There's lots of people coming to the gardens now.
Good.
Yeah, and Healing
You've
Waters.
got your polytunnel. You've been after that for years, haven't you?
Yeah, the
That's
team building, and people get so much out of coming and just spending some time and just being able to relax. And even if they lie on the earth, you don't have to garden necessarily. It's just like, come and lie on the earth and just let go of some of that stress.
Just have to avoid the artichokes or you'll hurt yourself. So Chrissy, is that my mate Chrissy? Chrissy says, anyone else feeling tomorrow's full moon? I'm feeling a bit shaky. You should shake then. You do shaking, you can consciously just shake. Get all your bits shaking. That's a really good, I love that. I've done that like for an hour. Just stand and shake. And then they say when the hour's up, you stop.
Is it the full moon now?
Tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then apparently Mercury stopped being retrograde yesterday. Mercury seems to be retrograde all the time.
I don't know.
I'm retrograde all the time.
I'm not an astronaut.
Planet Marion. No,
Planet, yes.
It's a weird and wonderful place.
That's why
I love it.
Yeah, I was trying to call you, and my daughter said, "Don't worry." She never answered them. But then that's what people say about me. I never answer. It's just about being busy, isn't it?
People are shocked when I answer. I answered a call yesterday, and I got, "Oh, you're there." I went, "Yes, I'm here."
Yeah. So no, I haven't felt the energy of the full moon. Probably I have, but I haven't noticed because I've been too busy driving at 90 miles an hour up the motorway
To try and get here.
And
do you change your cycles of work when in the moon cycles? Because I know in like where I lived in the Mayan area, they use thatch, the palm leaves for the roofs, and you can't, and the sticks for the house structure, and you can't cut the sticks. There's a week window, which is in the full moon, in the new moon period for cutting the sticks, and you have to cut the thatch. I think it's on the night of the new moon or the night of the full moon.
Oh.
So there's only one day in every 28 days when you're supposed to cut the thatch, but there's a 7-week day window when you can cut the sticks.
Fascinating. So it sounds a bit like biodynamics, that there's specific times.
It's about the rising of the sap and the falling of the sap. I mean, they can talk about it, the guys that know what they're doing, and the wives as well.
Yeah, it probably makes sense in terms of how they want the leaves to be and things.
Yeah, because you want the leaves to dry out as quickly as possible, so they need to be chopped when the sap is dropping back, not when it's rising.
Oh yeah. So we're talking about sap. We're making hay in the gardens. We've had
you and Thomas.
No, not Thomas. No, Stoker has been busy making. Stoker, we almost got the hay in, and that just rained on it, and it was like a real nightmare. He'd done the first 6 bales, and then it started pouring with rain, and then he had to open them up and spread them again, and then it rained, and every day I had to go and turn it and like hoping, fingers crossed, that it was going to be all right. But I should imagine he's probably done it today. So it's fantastic organic hay we're selling for £4 a bale. If you have a horse and you live near Healing Waters and you want hay for your horse, and you happen to have seen this video, this could be your lucky day.
If you know anyone with a horse near Glastonbury, tell them.
Yeah.
Shaking sounds like a great idea. I was barefoot in the park. Nice, Chrissy, getting barefoot in the park. Very good. Yeah, shaking's great. There's 2 ways to shake as well. You can do it intentionally, consciously, by physically shaking yourself. And I mean, you literally try and shake everything so you can feel all your skin moving. It gets all the fascia moving. But there's also a really cool set of exercises called trauma release exercises by a teacher called David Baselli. And he teaches these stretches where you stretch up the psoas muscle, which is inside the spine. And then you lie on the floor and things just begin to shake involuntarily. That is magic. That is absolutely.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I teach it. I use it in yoga classes sometimes.
All right.
I love it. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
really
that's why animals don't get traumatized,
Yeah.
because they are able to shake out the activation, and
Yeah.
why humans do get traumatized because we don't.
We hold it in. We have
We
a
hold it
brandy or sit down and have a cup of tea.
Or an aspirin,
Yeah.
or like say, pull yourself together,
Yeah.
or don't be such an idiot.
And with little babies, we wrap them up so they can't move and stuck in there.
Or if you've
bloody.
just had surgery, then you might be given a shot of painkillers or Valium or something like that afterwards. Or
Yeah, so you're not allowed to shake. It's seen as it's not part of our civilization.
yeah, sillyvisation.
I actually can't say that word right anymore because it really is civilization.
Yeah.
And we have one last message here, which is Chrissy saying, "Oh, I'll take a look. Thank you. Very good, Chrissy. Yeah, you'll find. I think I did a video on it somewhere on YouTube. Yeah, if you YouTube me and TRE, you might find something. You might not. I just never know. Right, that's us done. Then we've been on an hour.
Well, I hope you made some sense about it, something we said.
If you made any sense out of that, can you forward the message on to us? Let us know.
Or that there was something useful or helpful for you, because that is our intention to, just to be real about what's going on and to support you. And that if you're feeling fat or miserable or depressed or whoops, I didn't
If only.
say that. If you don't feel fat and like, it's like, why not? Why not?
My lipstick's the wrong shade, obviously.
I mean, that's our aim. It's just to be real, and like whatever is going on for you, it doesn't have to be any of the things that we've said, but what is the authentic, real thing happening for you?
Obviously not a sweet old lady sitting next to me. She's naughty.
Yeah. So, it's about giving yourself space to be that which you are, and not to have to pretend, and to know that you're not alone, that there are millions of people going through really difficult, challenging things. And how can we hold it all together? I do hear that there's some amazing things coming down the pipeline now, and it's there's huge shifts happening.
Yeah, there's some really magical stuff when you start looking out for it. And again, you just, I always say, there's a lot of conflicting information. Even in the positive, there's a lot of conflicting information. I don't care. I don't care how conflicting it is when I hear it. It's what do I feel? What do I want to focus my attention on? What do I want to say is where I'm moving towards? What is it that I'm trying to build that will make all the other stuff obsolete? So a little bit of conflict doesn't matter, does it? You get 2 conflicting ideas. If they're both in the positive one, let me just graduate towards the one that feels more likely for me.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the others.
Yeah. So what feels more likely for you? I mean, you are the creator of
gravitate, not graduate. Just so realised.
Gravitate.
Just a little voice in me. I just went, you said the wrong word.
You're the creator of your own reality, aren't you? So, if you can lift yourself up and you don't go into depression.
Take it lightly. Take your depression lightly. It's all right to be depressed.
It will pass.
And to take it lightly, exactly.
Yeah, it will pass. 2 days ago, I could barely speak, and here I am, like burbling along. It will pass. Whatever is happening, it will pass. Yeah, we'll get through this.
Lovely people. Thank you for your time and your attention. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Lots of love.